Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's the purchase and pricing question email line for your questions about buying this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. It's down in the description. Email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a sensational orbital tourbillon launched in 2010. This is the Cartier Rotonde de Cartier Astrotourbillon, a timepiece built in a 47mm white gold Rotonde de Cartier case. It features an orbital tourbillon that makes one circuit every 60 seconds. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour inside a case that is imposing. 47mm in diameter, 14.7mm thick, so maybe not as thick as you have imagined. 53mm from lug to lug with a broad and proportional 24mm spacing between the lugs. Now I'm going to open up the clasp. We'll talk a little bit about the hardware software, and then we'll throw it on the wrist. As you can see, Cartier fitting this watch with a black semi-gloss, a large rectangular scale alligator leather strap, a little bit of bolstering to add some volume and body with a folded edge, a monotone stitch, and calf skin on the underside. As you can see, this is a brand new Cartier strap, so you will have the pleasure of sizing it using this, the signature Cartier deployant clasp, as created in 1909 by Louis Cartier. It is a tribute to that very first design and retains most of his mechanism. That was the first ever deployant clasp on a wristwatch, and it was simply created for the sake of security, and it continues in that function today, also featuring a coupling mechanism that crimps some strap inside of the clasp body, and then all excess length, once it's sized, is fitted underneath. As a result, there's no need for minder loops on the top, nor is any excess length visible externally. It's a very clean as well as secure arrangement. Now, the case itself is, well, the Rotonde de Cartier case, and it does seem as though in the 2010s, the Rotonde case was often the canvas for a number of high complications by Cartier, and this is no exception. You can actually see, as we glance in from the edge, the circuit of the tourbillon and the mechanism mounted under the central dial that propels it against a track that features small coined edges, and it's actually a pinion that drives along that little railroad track. It is like an old cog railroad, if you're familiar with those. The case is black polished with a remarkably sharp break between case and lug profile that I find exquisite. You'll also note screw-fixed bars used to fix the strap in place, so it is a very secure arrangement. No spring bars here. The curvature of the case is somewhat down from the domed profile bezel, and then there is a curvature from side to side, so there are two curves working at the same time, the much discussed compound curvature that I cite on this channel. Now you can see there is a gray track outboard against which you can read the minutes and the seconds, and then there is a wonderful radially satin-grained lacquered numeral hour track, and you can see the gloss of those lacquered numerals reflecting a handsome sunburst surrounded by a guilloche. The guilloche returns at the center of the dial on the cap that's used for reading minutes and hours, and then underneath, just above the cog-like track on which the tourbillon plies its path. The tourbillon carriage is impressively hand-finished with black polish, satin tops, and mirrored anglage on its edges. You'll also note the use of black polished screws with chamfered slots. Now the timepiece is a manual wind, and you can see it features a knurled, some might say beaded, white gold crown with a true sapphire cabochon. Back in 2010, this was a $133,000 watch, so you do get a few tricks for your money. A real sapphire, no spindle there. Now you can see this is Cartier, manufactured caliber 9451, twin mainspring barrels for a very even torque release, as well as to provide a impressive 48-hour power reserve, considering that power-hungry complication on the dial side. So twin barrels, so you don't have a big drop-off in amplitude after 24 hours, and also to provide a reasonable power reserve given the sheer power consumption requirements of the movement. You can see these are individually numbered and sequential, so production was low. 33 joules, manual wind, 21 6-beat rate. As you can see, it's relatively spare on the reverse side, but you do have satin finishing on the wheels and the mainspring barrels. You have black polished screws. You have Côte de Genève across the bridges, mirrored anglage on their edges, and then there's a little bit of an engine-turned perlage, and you can see that the click itself features a satin finished top. So it is a handsome movement that is nicely finished, made in the Cartier manufacture at Le Chaux de Fonds. Cartier, in the 2000s, ramping up dramatically its in-house capabilities, both engineering and production. So this is a true in-house piece. 30 meters water resistant, so though large and bold, it's not specifically a sports watch, though it does have a sporty demeanor. This is the Cartier of kings, the Cartier you imagine. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.